More mistakes people make when they're trying to fade acne marks that I see all the time. The first one is probably the biggest one that I see, and this is picking the scab off. The longer that you can leave the scab on, the less likely it is going to scar and the less severe the scarring is going to be. No, it's far more satisfying to put makeup onto a flattened skin rather than a bumpy scab. The longer you can leave the scab on, the less likely there's going to be a big red scar underneath, the more likely it's just going to look like normal skin. The second thing that I see people do all the time that doesn't help is trying to dry the scab out. Scabs and wounds actually heal better if they're kept lightly moisturised. Like, for example, you can just use your moisturiser on the scab, but whatever you do, don't try and dry it out with things like salicylic acid. Basically, just stop trying to interfere with the natural healing process, because the natural healing process is what's going to give you better looking skin in the end. Similarly, point number 3 is using actives on a scab. Like, that's going to impact the scab in a positive way. And actually, it's just a waste of product, and it's also going to interfere with the natural healing process. And the fourth thing that I see people do all the time is using things like acids and actives, and even sometimes like straight rubbing alcohol on a wound after they've picked it. So if you have a spot and then you've picked it and then you've tried to disinfect it with alcohol or some other kind of active, most likely doing more harm than good, and it's better to just lightly cleanse your skin with a really gentle cleanser, moisturise, and then SPF.